Hello and welcome to the Perpetual Traffic Podcast. This is your host, Ralph Burns. This is a show where we share cutting-edge strategies from these brilliant marketers, as well as myself, for you, the VP of Marketing, Director of Marketing, owners of businesses, so you can scale and grow your business and ultimately achieve your vision. And we are broadcasting live from day 3 of none other than Traffic and Conversion Summit.
TNC, y'all.
TNC, y'all. We are here. We are a little bit punchy because we've all done our presentations and it's day 3. And Vegas after day 3.
Oh, God. I went drinking with Steve Sims.
Yeah. Oh. It's like staying in Vegas, fish and visitors go sour in 3 days, go bad in 3 days. So it's about to get even worse tonight because I think Dave Albano's party is going to be even worse. But anyway, be that as it may, my most favorite expression, we have been here and we have survived. You did a talk, I did a talk.
Lauren's talk
Aside from saying that your talk was the best talk, which I know you guys think that your talks were the best talk. What were the best things that came out of Traffic and Conversion Summit? Or were you too hungover from the Steve Sims night to remember?
So my highlights, I loved Ralph's talk. I thought that it was...
good sucking up.
You were well, no, hold on. This is the
Excellent.
truth. I'm a data-driven marketer. Ralph was standing room only. As a matter of fact, you were the only standing room only talk I visited. Did you have that experience too?
Yes, you couldn't sit anywhere.
There was
you were
no
sitting
seat.
on the floor
Yeah.
and standing...
I was standing in the back.
On the floor.
Yeah.
He could only see because he towered ginormously over everyone else.
That's right. He could actually stand and see. Yeah, that was good.
You can buy the recordings if you want to. You're okay.
Just recording a podcast.
We're not commission based, so if you buy the TNC recordings, then you'll be able to see Ralph's speech. It was amazing. I love Lauren Petrullo's talk on the biggest undiscovered traffic channel being Pinterest, which was unbelievable. And it was interesting too because she started off saying, "I know you're skeptical," and won over the entire audience by the end. And I loved the thing that I thought was so good that I'm going to steal for you. Is people use GIFs in presentations all the time.
Yeah.
You told a story in yours using the same characters from the same show.
Yeah.
So there was like this thread of narrative woven in that existed kind of underneath or on top of what it was you were saying, but it really drove the point home. And because you know and love the characters from Schitt's Creek, then you were kind of like, it was easier to buy into what you were saying.
It was the shittiest presentation at TNC, but there was someone in the audience who had swag from the show and walked up and had an apothecary bag from one of the references in the show, and I was like, yes, my people.
Your people were there in spirit. If they weren't your people by the end of the presentation, they were your people because
you got them.
I think you won the award for most GIFs in a presentation. It had to be 70 some odd. Yeah.
For sure. No one has the gift game.
Nobody has the gift that you have. And I would say that your presentation, Kasim.
Now that we're doing the obligatory circle.
Yeah, we're doing the circle.
Yours was a stand-up comedy show.
It was a stand-up comedy show. It was fatalistic. Yeah, I was a little bit pissed off because you didn't really paint a very positive picture of the future.
No, everything's on fire and we're all going to die.
Yeah, but aside from all the world and digital marketing going to hell in a handbasket, it was absolutely outstanding.
It was.
So I would say it was tremendous.
There were a bunch of really good talks. I thought Christine Marie's it blew me away. Her empathy-driven marketing model. Yeah. Eddie Malouf, I didn't get to go to it because we were at the same time, but apparently it was amazing. Yeah. What other ones did y'all see that if somebody bought the recordings, which ones should they watch?
Well, I am always partial to
Ryan Dice's keynote.
Always.
Keynote. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Not his panel?
Well, I mean, you on his panel, he didn't really add all that much, but you stole the panel.
Yeah. Lauren's a thief.
Stole the panel.
She stole the Perpetual Traffic co-host spot.
Although Alicia was very, very good.
Yeah.
Alicia Conlon Hurd.
Yeah.
I saw her presentation.
She hasn't been on the show. I was convinced she's been on the show. She's been on my show.
She's coming on Perpetual Traffic.
Is she really?
Yeah,
she should. She's a good one. Dude, she's so funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
She might be the funniest guest we'll ever have.
She might be the funniest female guest
we've ever
had on the show.
No question.
Could be.
Right.
I don't know if we've ever had any other female funny guests.
No.
I'm so close to giving you a wet willy right now.
Oh, come on. You're our favorite. Yeah. So Alicia's was really good. Alaric, Alaric did what Alaric does.
Yes. I didn't get to see us.
Alaric was very back to basics.
Yeah.
Which everybody needs.
But I think sometimes a lot of these presentations, somebody tries to go so over the top, so super ninja, which was, I think, a criticism of mine that I heard sort of as I was standing in line.
Don't you love that when people don't know
I love that. I love that. I wasn't like we were waiting for coffee. Like, yeah, did you hear Ralph Burns' talk? Yeah, it was like a little bit too much over my head. The point is like you're not going to be able to please everybody all the time. And I liked Alaric because it went down back to the basics of like how important YouTube actually is. You know this, I know this, you know this, obviously to a certain degree. So I do like his, and you, the Perpetual Traffic listener, viewer, does know it. But I do say, when all is said and done, Dice always is able to sort of bring it back to the center. And I think he was able to do that. And he did it in such a way so that it really kind of made it seem like a lot of the things, the new and cool things in digital marketing now are things that are back to basics.
Which has actually been a pretty recurring theme of Dice's. He's like, you guys, this isn't any different than everything. Because he goes back to principles. Yeah. Did anybody see Perry's talk?
I caught the tail end of Perry's talk.
How was it? I didn't get to go.
The emotion in the room was really high. People were really, really engaged. And it felt more like an evangelical church sermon with the way that people were connecting with Perry. It was super well received.
You definitely had the best jacket out of anyone.
Did you wear that
I had some great jackets.
Well, you had some great jackets. You were the yellow theme.
My beaded jacket?
Yeah.
I had outfit changes. I brought 8 outfits for 4 days.
Yeah. And then sold togas.
2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago. That's how she got her start. Right. At TNC. So I would say it was overall a huge success here at Traffic and Conversion Summit, and it's still one of the best marketing conferences on the planet. Although I do think they probably want to get more people here, is my guess. So I think they probably, like at its peak, Traffic and Conversion Summit was a lot larger. It's a pretty big venue here. That would be my one criticism. Yeah. It didn't seem quite as intimate.
Yeah, I think there's sub 3,000 is what I heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's with networking passes, so those aren't actually full attendees.
I didn't know how many there was. I thought it would be more intimate, like it was spread out because the break rooms were a further away distance than I would have anticipated.
Yeah.
The things that changed this year with like the VIP room being exclusively for VIP was interesting, but like...
I don't like associating with peons.
You want a walled garden around you at all times.
I actually didn't even like that they could see me, to be honest with you.
That was surprising because it just seemed like...
Call it visual pollution.
Visual pollution? Yeah. Well, at Disney, we made... At Disney, if you notice, they intentionally diverted attention away from the fast pass lanes so that the people in the regular line would feel like peasants for not pre-planning the fast pass. Right. And so I found it really interesting that the VIP room was so visible and it did make such a line of demarcation. Right. You are not one of us.
You are not one of us.
But I actually didn't spend as much time in the VIP room as I do
the drinks were free.
Yeah, the drinks were always free there. That was helpful. I did like the red carpet going into each one of the breakout rooms.
Yeah,
that's cool. That was just a very exclusive.
It was a nice touch.
Yeah, it was a nice touch.
It's a nice way to say
elitist,
paid more.
I would say elitist touch.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about VIP, and hopefully everybody knows I'm joking. It's like you just spent more money than me.
Yeah, right.
You just you're not important. It's like very spendy person.
That's right. You're not really an important person. Yeah, you're just you just have a little bit extra cash.
Right.
So, all right. So we've given our criticisms here a bit.
Here's what I'll say is you have to, if you're in the marketing space, there's something about being present at an event, networking, connecting, synergize. You don't get everything that you'd get if you just bought the media or bought the recording. So if it's not TNC, go to something local.
Yeah.
There's so many digital marketing conferences and meetups, and that's I feel I always get the most when I'm able to connect with people and figure out what they're doing, and I like different industries. So I'd be really careful. If you're in HVAC, don't go to the HVAC industry only. Go to something because you're going to learn from a realtor and a lawnmower repairman.
Yeah. No,
I would agree. For being here and stuff, so we'll talk about different Pinterest strategies. I had 4 or 5 people I've never met come up to me, tell me that they had implemented something they either heard in Perpetual Traffic or saw in another video somewhere about Pinterest.
People listen to Perpetual Traffic
when I'm on.
Ratings go through the roof when she's on. Because she's our funniest female guest.
Yeah.
Why do you say female? I'm the funniest guest. Obviously much funnier
Ralph
than
is trying not to pick sides.
Just try not to pick sides.
You're the one that said my
Who's your favorite child?
That's right.
Who's your favorite co-host, Ralph?
You know, the favorite child is for me the one who takes out the garbage more than the other one. That's the favorite child.
He's the trash.
Yeah, he's the trash.
That was such an easy joke. Yeah. It was just went for the obvious.
Obviously, very.
I thought we just established that going after some of the easy foundational elements are tried and true.
Now you're reaching.
Yeah. Well, now you're trying to sound like Ryan Dice.
Like 6'10".
Yeah, well, that is
very
true.
tall. People should see, because this is the first. Like they're not generally not able to. I'm mostly legs.
I am the shortest.
Yeah.
I'm mostly legs.
Yeah.
My legs are like a centimeter shorter than yours.
Yeah, we did a hip to hip comparison.
Top of hip.
No, you're like 6
He
inches.
barely beats me.
You're like 6 inches taller than me, but that's with the heels.
I mean, yeah.
Well, she wears 12-inch heels, so.
Yeah.
Oh, pardon.
I wear 3-inch heels, so hey, it's whatever. I gotta get my legs.
You are taller than me sitting down.
Yeah. Do you like how the people listening to our podcast are like, I spent time to just try to get value from you idiots, and this is where we are now.
Let's get back to what we actually learned. Is there anything here aside from something from your talk, so you're not completely self-aggrandizing? Yeah. Like you learn from somebody else here today that you can give the Perpetual Traffic listener instead of all this fluff about who's faster, taller, smarter, better looking, any of that. What was your big takeaway? Did you actually have some? First off, I know you went to some talks. I'm not quite sure.
I went to 3.
Because you were in most of your room most of yesterday. Yeah. But anyway, I'll get to you.
Recovering.
So you can think for a bit. But what was your takeaway? Yeah, I'm taking this back to Mongoose Media.
Kevin Barber talked about...
Who's Solutions 8? I don't even know.
Solution 7.
The Solutions...
Mongoose Media Solution 7, that makes sense.
Yeah. Mongoose 7.
You're like Maroon 6. So Kevin Barber had a talk about review acquisition strategies and how when he goes after cold customers, he'll get reviews on things such as that onboarding call, reviews on the lead magnet. So just people are seeing reviews for each touch point, and it seemed really brilliant, especially for all the discovery calls you have with people that don't necessarily bring to fruition a $250,000 contract, but still really valuable for them. You can validate the process, that review, and provide someone who doesn't know, love, trust you because they didn't meet you in person at TNC to feel more comfortable in each step of that buying process. I thought it was really smart.
Yeah. And how will you be using that in your marketing? Will you actually start implementing that strategy, or just tell somebody on staff to do it?
It'll be delegated out.
It'll be delegated out.
100%.
Do things.
Don't actually do anything.
But no, like we've been really hard on SOPs lately because it's not often a people problem, but a process problem. So then that's just a really quick and simple thing. If person did not purchase an audit after discovery call, send them a review request or like an NPS score, Net Promoter Score, from that review call. And then if that's positive, follow up like, hey, for someone else that's going to go on this discovery call, can you help them make a more informed decision before talking to me or my team?
So good takeaway.
I thought it was great. Their reactions are saying otherwise, but I thought
it was a good call.
I'm thinking, letting it process.
Yeah, because you don't have to go just for the reviews of the people that are paying you.
Right.
There's still a lot of opportunity and a lot of feedback. Again, for the people that came up to me saying, I implemented what you told me to do on Pinterest, and the impact that it had, they gave me no money, so I never would have solicited a review from them.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to be like, oh.
You know what I like about the idea of soliciting reviews from people mid-process is when somebody compliments you, they're more likely to continue the process.
Fair.
So if you just stop and say like, hey, just out of curiosity, how was, so far, whatever the qualification call, is there anything I can do better? That's my favorite way to ask for a review, by the way, because you're not saying, can you give me a review? You're saying, is there anything I can do better? And inevitably, that was, no, you were, and then they offer you the thing, and you can say, wow, that's really impactful. I appreciate that. Would you mind me sharing it with other people? And now, bam.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think it's super important. What was your big takeaway?
Christine Marie had a discussion about empathy-driven marketing, and within that, she had this discovery process. It reminded me a lot of what you guys do at Tier 11, where she interviewed customers, which makes all the sense in the world, but she also interviewed staff. And I thought
and vendors.
Staff, and she interviews freaking everybody.
Yeah.
But when she was talking about interviewing the staff, and then the fact that none of the staff were on the same page as to who they were, what the mission was, what they were selling, and I honestly don't do much in the way of that kind of precursor work anyway. But if I did, the customers are the obvious. I don't think I ever would have thought of interviewing the staff. Okay. And then doing so puts, allows her to kind of get a sense as to where the breakage is in the company. Yeah. Because she interviewed the staff, she interviewed the customers, and she realized that the staff thought the buying decision was predicated on price, and it wasn't at all for the customer. And so the modification of that narrative permeated everything that they did inside of that business, from the messaging, the website, the videos, the calls to action, etc. And I thought that was a really good pro tip.
And it had like an 800% increase in ROAS.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was a common theme I heard. What I heard in 1, 2, 3, at least 4 talks is the key to getting more leads, sales, getting more from your paid traffic is actually doing more research and understanding your customer. It's like we talk about it a lot. We talk about it here on the show a lot. But to hear other people talking about like the most boring part, the unsexy part of marketing. But I think a cool tip I had never heard, and this is a shout out to Alicia, is Google industry niche product stand-up comedy, because these guys do a ton of research, and I've done research on how long it actually takes for a stand-up comic to perfect their act.
Well, it's 2 years a set.
It's crazy long. I heard it was almost 3 years.
Yeah, maybe. So the professionals, I listened to a Joe Rogan interview, and they said the best of the best of the best are 2 years. I bet you, if you're aspiring, you probably need to do more.
Right.
And if you're
just naturally funny, you don't have to do any at all.
That's ever happened. Lauren's mic went out, so everybody knows, so she can't speak, and I am loving this episode.
It's great that she can't talk because we lost battery on our Riverside recording. Yeah. Wow, what are we going to say about Lauren now that she can't speak?
No.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, we know...
Pinterest is a waste of time.
Yeah, Pinterest...
There's no hope.
Just don't waste your time on Pinterest, really. It's just a black hole.
No.
Crap. I don't know why she comes on. She talks about it all the time.
Nonstop.
It's like one of those networks you just don't really pay attention to.
I don't believe in...
it's like Friendster.
Right.
Yeah.
Pinterest
it really is.
It's Friendster for pathetic people.
Pathetic people who like visuals.
Right.
I don't know.
Pinterest fans that listen to this podcast.
They're wedding planning. I don't know. No, that's not true. We love Pinterest, and we love Lauren, even though she can't talk right now because her battery went out.
I can talk, they can't hear me.
Yeah, that's all right. But she can hear each other locally. Just not you on YouTube. So here we are, Traffic and Conversion Summit. Final day.
Yep.
We're all heading home. It's the first time we've actually recorded and met each other face to face.
Oh.
That was a big deal.
Yeah.
You met my wife last night, even though you can't talk, 13 seconds. So that was fun. But no, it's been great hanging out with you guys this past week. Yeah. Yes. And you too. Yes. All right, everybody. Hopefully, we have been able to accurately summarize, and hopefully you got at least one relevant thing from this week's show, as opposed to just lots of riffraff between these two. But make sure that wherever you listen to podcasts, you subscribe and leave a rating. It helps digital marketers and smart people like yourself, more of you, get the message to help them to scale and grow their business and ultimately achieve their vision. I'm not even doing the outro right today because it's been 3 days of Traffic and Conversion Summit. So make sure you subscribe and leave a rating wherever you're listening. And make sure you do subscribe to our channel over on YouTube, perpetualtraffic.com/YouTube. Follow Kasim, I guess, on his socials. Follow Lauren on her socials. Just Google her. You'll probably find her, and follow me on my socials, especially on LinkedIn. And all the links and relevant information here, although there really wasn't all that much in this week's show, are in the show notes over at perpetualtraffic.com. So on behalf of my awesome co-host Kasim Aslam,
peace,
and on behalf of Lauren Petrullo, who can't say anything,
I was trying to give her my mic.
Ciao!
Until next show, see ya.